want to speak out is there, but especially with international students, they fear retaliation.
Our client had his visa revoked and he was very fearful.
Visas revoked. It's happening to international students at universities across the country and right here in Rochester. Having a visa revoked does not necessarily mean they will have to leave the country right now. But it does mean they will face deportation at some point. News 10 NBC's Marcia Augustin joins us live from the University of Rochester. Marcia, you spoke with a non-international student leader who says international students are too terrified to talk with us.
Yeah, that's right, Nikki. And as you know, Nikki, for weeks I've been trying to speak with international students, but they tell me they're being targeted and are afraid to talk. And after student visas were revoked from 3 students at Syracuse, 13 at University of Buffalo, 5 at U of R, and several more at RIT, their fears may be well-founded.
People are scared to speak up and say anything.
I'm afraid if I step outside, ICE agents are going to detain me.
Fears of deportation have now reached RIT and U of R, and it's disrupted daily college life for international students. Dariel Guerra is a senior and a former student leader at U of R. He says this crackdown on international student visas will not allow them to stay and complete their studies.
A lot of fear. It's mainly fear, and it has been fear ever since Trump came into office.
Guerra says it's unclear why international students are being targeted, but he believes it's because many protested the Israel-Hamas war.
We, as a student body, saw this coming, and we urged the university for a very long time to provide resources and make a statement and, take a stance on the issue, and they didn't. And now now they've offered resources, but only after the fact, and it's almost feels like too little, too late. And this is the consequences of their silence.
What are the rights of international students while they're here in the U.S. getting an education?
The general consensus and understanding is that international students would be able to engage in speech, and that speech is protected.
It's something Mohammed Salim, an immigration attorney based out of New York City, argued in court and says it's their First Amendment right. He recently represented Mohammed Tal, a PhD student at Cornell whose visa was revoked, and actually sued the Trump administration. Salim says international students are not being given due process.
They're kind of just being sacrificial lambs in this administration, and that's something that this administration, in furtherance of, let's say, certain policies, is trying to conflate in their executive orders and trying to muzzle that free speech part.
So what should international students do if their visa is terminated? Salim says, figure out your options with an attorney beforehand. Some take these cases pro bono.
You come up with a plan, you speak to an attorney, do a consultation, say, what would be my options? What could I do? What could I file? What are going to be my next steps?
We've reached out to several local universities for comment. The U of R says we are deeply troubled by the escalation of immigration enforcement activity toward our international students, actions that were taken without communication with the university. And we also have a statement from RIT. You'll be able to find both of those statements shortly after the broadcast. It'll be posted to this story on WHEC.com. Outside of U of R, Marcia Augustin, News 10. NBC.
Thank you, Marcia. And we asked the State Department why it chose to revoke these students' visas in particular. The spokesperson did not answer our question, saying, quote, due to privacy and other considerations and visa confidentiality, we generally will not comment on department actions with respect to specific cases. New tonight, we continue to hear reports of ICE agents taking people into custody around town.